Hey guys, what's happening? Today we're going to be going over how people came into North America. This class was starting with North America, so this is where we're going to start. Today you can see I'm wearing my Burr shot first. If you follow anything about Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, they got into a duel. Hamilton lost. All right, let's move on to what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today is the earliest Americans and coming into North America. How did people get to our section of the world? About 38,000 to 10,000 years ago, people migrated, vocab word, people migrated across the Bering Land Bridge. They moved by walking from Asia over into North America. So there's your migration. People migrated over here from Asia, like I said, 10,000 years ago or so. As they come over here, they're coming over in small groups, small hunter-gatherer groups who share the same culture. We've gone over culture already too. What is culture? It's a shared belief, tradition, and customs. So they're coming over in little groups of people. Why do they have to be little? Well, because you're probably following herds of animals or following, berries in season. So they have to travel small groups. You can only feed a small amount of people. And as some of these groups work their way from the north all the way to south, because nobody wants to stay in the Arctic area up there without a house and heat, so they move down to where it's warmer. We have four major groups who move from the northern part of North America down into Meso, Central America, into South America. And these groups are called the Olmec, the Maya, the Aztec, and the Inca. These are our first real big civilizations in America. Why were we able to all of a sudden start having civilizations? We had people hunting and gathering in small groups. Why is it now the Olmec were able to come to Mesoamerica and have a gigantic civilization? The one thing that really helped that out was in 5000 BC, we figured out how to farm. So now we can settle. And when you farm and settle, your population explodes. Okay, so we have the Olmec come down around 1200 BC. They last to about 400 BC. So they have a good 800-year span of where they're like this grand civilization. And then you have the Maya, the Aztec, the Inca. They're around the same time, about 1200 BC is the Olmec. 200 AD is probably the Maya. They last until about 200 AD from the end of the Olmec. And then by 1500, the Aztecs, the Incas are like the biggest civilizations. And what do we know about them now? They died out. Okay, that's like the Babylonians, the Mesopotamians, all these great civilizations, the Roman Empire, the Egyptian Empire, all these civilizations, great civilizations kind of burn out, fizzle out. I wonder why. I don't know. That's something we'll have to find out. And how do these people travel? Well, like I said, they travel in cultural divisions in different regions. That's how these native societies are divided, different regions. You have Mesoamerica in the Central America part, South America. They're not all living in the same area. They're all kind of divided. And then we have so we go from those civilizations into actual Native American civilizations in what we know today as the United States. So we have Native Americans, let's say, living in the Pacific Northwest. We have Native Americans living in the Southwest, the Great Plains, the Northeast, the Southeast. Do they live differently in these different areas? Sure. Just like us in the South have a different culture than people in the West. Okay, it's the same thing with Native American tribes or societies. The Southwest had to use irrigation to farm. While the Great Plain Native Americans, they just had all those grasslands. The Northwestern Native Americans built totems and teepees. Meanwhile, the Northeastern, like the Iroquois, they lived in longhouses. Okay, so they have all these different customs and beliefs, part of their cultures. So different Native American tribes across the United States, or North America at that time, had different cultures, lived in different cultures. But were they all different? There were two things that Native Americans did agree on. That happens to be religion and land ownership. Native American tribes were mostly polytheistic. They believed in different gods: a sun god, a wind god, a water god, the earth god. Like, I mean, it was really all about the earth. So they shared kind of the same religion. The other thing that they shared was land ownership. The big thing about land ownership is it wasn't like fenced off properties. Everybody in the village used the same land. It was not like what we know of today, private property and fenced locations. That's a European thing. That's what you call a white European thing. We did not build forts or different things like that until Europeans came over here. So Native Americans, if you farmed a little area for your crops, that was yours. But all the rest of the land was shared amongst everybody. So that's a basis. That's the basis of North America. The people migrated from Asia over the Bering Land Bridge. They moved south to go with the warm weather. They were able to farm, so they were able to build huge civilizations, those four big ones: Olmec, Incan, Maya, Aztec. Um, and then they moved throughout the United States. Okay, different cultures, different areas. They shared some things like religion and property, but they lived in different cultures as well.